I just got done fixing the recoil starter for this engine, but before I put it on there, I want to put on this different cup because it has a screen on it. That should keep the mice out of there. Now I need to loosen this nut, and that's the reason I'm making this video. You have to have a way of holding on to the crankshaft while you're trying to loosen the nut. You can use a pipe wrench on the pulley or the shaft, but that leaves ugly teeth marks. I've done it before, and I didn't like it. So this is what I came up with. Just so I didn't have to take the time to put the key slot in there, I found an old pulley like this one. This pulley's a different size, but it's made the same way. They're made with stamped steel flanges over a hub and brazed on there. I mangled the hub out of there with the hydraulic press, so that left me with this hub that already has a key slot in it, and I'll use the pipe wrench on that part. Here's a key that I can use. It fits in the hub, but it don't fit the key slot on the crankshaft. I'll check with the file to make sure there's not a big burr on there. Well, that's just from rust and dirt buildup. That's probably what you'll find on most engines. I'm going to go make this key narrower on the belt sander. You need to measure it as you do it. Try not to make your key into a football shape. Now the hub should fit on there with the key. It's a little tight. I already sanded on the inside of this pulley hub so it can fit on my old crankshaft. I might need to make that hole a little bigger. Now I can use the pipe wrench on the outside of that hub and not leave any marks on the crankshaft or pulley. The screen looks like it might rub on the flywheel housing. I'll have to check that. I forgot to point out this lug has to be in the slot of the flywheel. That makes sure the hub can't rotate without the flywheel. Now I'm going to use the pipe wrench on the pulley hub to torque the flywheel nut. I can see that rubs on the housing. I'm going to adjust it a little bit. That should work. Now you can see how the crankshaft is not centered in the starter housing. Looking at the gap around the outside of the screen, you can see the crankshaft is to the left of the hole in the starter housing. So when I mount this starter, I have to pull it forward when I tighten the bolts. I don't think there's that much clearance in the bolt holes. If I pull this to the left and tighten it, it still won't be lined up with the center of the crankshaft. Yeah, that skips a tooth almost every time I pull it. That won't work. So now I think I have to swap out that flywheel cover. A few years ago, when I cleaned up this tractor, I tried to save the rusted out flywheel cover. Apparently I didn't get it back to its original shape, so now it don't hold the starter where it needs to be. Okay, I'll deal with that next time. This time it was all about my new thingy that keeps the pipe wrench marks off my pulley. Alright, that's it.